Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Extinct Breeds Hybrids. And for this very special episode, we'll be featuring the LYKA costume Jurassic World Evolution Ankylodocus. But before we head on with this video, the guest species contest winners will be announced later on in the video, so watch out for it, guys. And now let's move on with the making of Ankylodocus. So, I started off with the sketch of the Ankylodocus. You can see here, I patterned it off with the base figure that I will be using. And here, I have kit bashed the Ankylodocus. I've connected some Lego parts here. I used a raptor that I usually call it. It's a bootleg of a raptor, and then we have here, of course, different parts. I have removed the spikes on some of the ends and we'll be connecting them on the body of the Ankylodocus, and here it is so far. I also used aluminum foil to bulk up some parts of the neck as well as that of the legs of the Ankylodocus. So here, what we're going to do now is to build on some clay and mix in some epoxy and cover those things up. Okay? But before I actually do that, I added in here the neural spines of the Ankylodocus, which is actually very prominent in most of the Diplodocid family. Now here's just a mixture of equal parts of epoxy, non-sag A and B by Pioneer. Once I have that mixed already, so please don't use your hands when pre-mixing them, but when it's already mixed, you can actually use your hands to mold into your sculpture. So here we began with the neck and the head, and then we're just going over the body and the legs as well. There are also some parts of the tail that needs to have some clay in it. So the curing time for the epoxy would usually take around 6 hours, and once it's already fully cured, you can now sand it up to make it more smooth, and then attach the rest that have fallen, the rest of the neural spines that have fallen. So here I have primered already our Ankylodocus, and now we're ready to paint. Okay, so we have, of course, some acrylics, paintbrushes, as well as some water. So here is a mixture of burnt sienna, olive green, some white, and then a little bit of black. So we're painting this on most parts of the creature, on the topmost portions. The lower parts will be a little bit lighter, so we're just going to add some more white to it and then paint it up. So this usual paint would usually have 2 or 3 coats on it, so that the gray parts or the primer parts won't show. So as I've said earlier, the lower parts will be a lighter version of what we have on top. So I added in some white and a little bit of yellow ochre. So this will go on the bottom half of the neck region, also the lower jaw. We're going to also paint this same color on the bottom half of the body. Now for some special color, we have added some more green to the earlier color that we have, and a little bit of brown. Now we're painting some dots here to represent scales in between the lines of the underbelly, the lighter colors, and also the main color of the Ankylodocus. And now for the striping details. So the stripe details is a mixture of red and black. So this actually produces a reddish brown dark brown color that is really striking in contrast to that greenish brown color that we have earlier on the Ankylodocus. A little bit of fact. Did you know that Ankylodocus is actually one of those creatures or hybrids that Dr. Wu released in Jurassic World Evolution? Okay, so we have here already the stripes on the body as well as that of the legs. We're just going to continue on with this pattern on the neck region as well and finish it off. Once that is done, we're now ready to paint on the details on the spikes or the armor on the back. So this is a mixture of yellow ochre, a little bit of black and white. So we're just going to complete all painting or all colors on the on both sides as well as the back of each of these armor. I usually double coat on the paint on this one because sometimes it will bump on things when I'm playing with it, so it won't have actually scratches. For the neural spines, this is just gray, so I'm just overlaying on top of the primer here those that have had been colored during the process already. So topping it off with a little bit more gray on some sections. Alright, now for some details. The Ankylodocus actually has speckles of blue on top of the reddish brown stripes. So using this fine tip brush, we're creating these individual scales of light blue colors. I actually like this detail because it's broken down the harsh lines of the stripes. And that's it for our the making of the video for our Ankylodocus. I hope you guys enjoyed this one and learned something from it as well. And now for the Guess a Specie contest winners. And of course, we have 10 lucky picks: Cesar, Malik, Enriquez, Rachel, Marcus, DSPL, Mr. T-Rex, Pyroraptor, Dominic, Jacktastic. Congratulations everyone, and now for our top 10 winners. Red Ninja, Aiden Stevenson, Mr. Dino, People
7, top
21
6,
PM, Green Fury, the Allosaurus Paganax Gen 2, Sunny Lee,
4,
Rexy and Rex, Cretaceous
top
Rex,
2,
and Zane Adventure. Congratulations everyone! And I'll see you on the next SPC contest. For those of you who would like to join, here's how. Just click on the Extinct Bricks icon and it will lead you to the Extinct Bricks homepage. And in the homepage, just click on the community link and it will lead you to all our posts. Thanks everyone! And now, on with some Assembricks.
Alright, let's count down the number of parts of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So let's start by connecting this head, which I already attached the lower jaw to the neck part. Then to the lower base. Then let's attach this to the body. There you go. Let's now attach this one, the back of the creature. The legs. The right. Front legs. And now let's start with the back. With the right back leg or the hind leg the left. And we're almost done. All we need to do is build the tail. For the tail, let's connect the tip part with the club on this part of the tail, and then on the base of the tail. And now let's connect this to the body. And that completes our Ankylodocus.
And now it's time for some Extinct Breaks Dino Trivia. So, the biggest ever hybrid dinosaur that Dr. Wu has ever created was the Ankylodocus, which possessed the long horizontal figure of the sauropod Diplodocus and the imposing defensive features of the Ankylosaurus.
And we're here, and of course, Evie, my friend, is here and excited to introduce to you our latest hybrid to our collection, the Ankylodocus. Alright, so this Ankylodocus is actually one of those things that I have longed to make so far since, Jurassic World Evolution has released it. I think the design is really cool, and the coloration has changed eventually, and although the head is quite dorky sometimes, so it really doesn't really matter in terms of making the dinosaur. I base the dinosaur from a real or the fossils of our Diplodocus. So let's have a closer look. So taking a look closer of our Ankylodocus, you can see, or Ankylodocus, however you want to say it. You can see here a lot of details in terms of spikes and also armor protection on the back of the creature, on the front legs most especially, and then on the back. There's also the neural spines on the back of the Diplodocus or Ankylodocus, starting from the neck going towards the ends of the tail. Definitely one of the features of the Ankylodocus would be the club on the end of its tail, as you can see there. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Hit the camera. And of course, the head also sports the aside from the Diplodocus head here, you can see that the head also sports spikes. 1, 2, 3, 4 spikes. Now this Ankylodocus has several articulation points to it. Of course, it can open and close its mouth like so. Yeah. And it can also twist its head. This section of the neck can also be twisted, and this one as well. This can also move up and down because it's a hinge joint, as you can see. Then of course, our front legs and back legs can move as well, like so. For the tail, it can also move up and down, and certain points of articulation, such as this point, can move as well. The end part of the tail can also move, as it is flexible, as you can see here. The back of the Ankylodocus here is also removable, but you'll see that in the assemblage portion. And that's it for the closer look of our Ankylodocus. And we're back for some size comparisons, and Evie here is beside our Ankylodocus, and if it's compared with an actual Ankylodocus, as you can see here, it's actually almost the same size, or just right about size. Alright? Okay, so let's now compare the Ankylodocus with some of the dinosaurs that we've seen here so far, and also, as a special treat, we are going to compare our Ankylodocus with some of the dinosaurs that we've seen on the first ever trailer of Jurassic World Dominion! Yeah! the end of the video also if you would like to see, revisions of these dinosaurs based off from the actual Dominion movie. Alright, so let's start off with our size comparison, shall we? First up, we have our Ankylosaurus. Of course, the reason why I actually had the Ankylosaurus here is the Ankylodocus is actually from the DNA of the Ankylosaurus. Definitely, our Ankylosaurus is much smaller than our Diplodocus. Now let's compare with, oops, where do I place this one? So now let's compare with this one as well. So this is the Jurassic World alive Diplodocus that I made some time ago, and you can see here that since it uses actually the same body of our Ankylodocus here, it's almost the same size. Only that the Diplodocus here is, I think, much more longer because I made the neck based off from fossil remains. So this one has a longer neck than our Ankylodocus, but only for a few inches, I guess. And that's it for the size comparisons of our Ankylosaurus and Diplodocus. Let's now move on with some of the dinosaurs that we've seen so far in Jurassic World Dominion trailer. First up, we have the Parasaurolophus. The Parasaurolophus actually was seen in the movie, being chased by, I don't know if it's chased or Chris Pratt or Owen Grady was just herding the Parasaurolophus with the horses. So I don't know about that, but yeah. So this is the Parasaurolophus, definitely a little bit, smaller than our Ankylodocus here. But don't you just think that the Parasaurolophus in Dominion was kind of small? It's almost just a little bit bigger than a horse. So, well, anyway, so that's how they made it. So, yeah, moving on with our size comparisons, we have, of course, Rexy here definitely is a big guy, but definitely it's not as long as our Ankylodocus. So here's the size comparison for you guys. Next up, we have our Pyroraptor. This Pyroraptor is made by Toy Universe and is based off from the max level Jurassic World, the game Pyroraptor. I think he did a really good job at making this one. Even the eyes look like that of the actual game itself, with blue talons and yellow to bluish wings, and even those green details were quite impressive. Alright, so let's move on with the next one. We have our Therizinosaurus. So this Therizinosaurus is quite done, I think, a few years back, and as you can see here, it's quite the same in terms of look. If you can remember, the head of the Therizinosaurus here was actually from my previous Stegosaurus, I believe. So it has, this really long claws and this huge feet with feather details, similar to that of the Jurassic World Dominion Therizinosaurus. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is our Jurassic World Dominion Atrociraptor. So I'm really excited with the chase that they had here. I don't know where that is, probably Morocco. The Atrociraptor were chasing, Owen Grady on a bike. So when you compare it with our Ankylodocus here, much more smaller, this one. Okay, so let's move on with another protagonist in the movie. We have, of course, Blue. So blue here is actually a repaint of those actual size velociraptors. It has two studs on the back, as you can see here, and it can connect with Lego pieces, as you can see here. So the points of articulation are very much the same as that of the bigger size raptors, as you can see here, which has four studs in it. However, when compared to a minifigure, I think this one is actually more of the correct size. So I actually bought some of these and will be repainting some more of my raptors. So please let me know, guys, if you'd like to see those videos, and I'll be putting them up on this channel as well. So that is blue for you guys. Now let's move on to another one. So since EB Toy Universe also has a Pyroraptor, I also made one from before, as you can see here. So this one is based out from the Jurassic World Alive Pyroraptor. I don't know if this will be the same design that they will be using in the Jurassic World Dominion movie, but if they will not be the same, I'll be probably making another one similar to the size of our blue raptor here. Okay, so let's move on to the next. This is Apatosaurus. The Apatosaurus was actually seen in the movie, or in the trailer movie, in the snow with Macy. So that was quite surprising. I don't know what they were doing there. But comparing this in size, our Apatosaurus here has a much more wider and longer body than our Diplodocus here, or Ankylodocus. But our Ankylodocus is definitely longer in terms of length. Okay, and lastly, in the trailer, this was also seen. I'd like to show mine, but this is more of the accurate size of the Mosasaurus. So this Mosasaurus, or the Mosasaurus in the movie, is actually seen, engulfing the cage ones where you observe sharks. So so I'd like to see to make one of those someday in this size. This one is actually the Mosasaurus that EB Toy Universe made. So see how it looks? It's actually the same, or it's actually the level 40 or max level Mosasaurus in Jurassic World again. So if you haven't seen this video yet of the Mosasaurus, please check it out. It's really cool. It's the biggest so far that we've done on that channel, and even bigger than most of what I did in the Extinct Bricks channel as well. So check it out, guys. And that's it for the size comparisons. Let's now move on with Extinct Bricks Specie Roll Call. And we have here all of the creatures that I've shown here on the video so far. So we have different kinds of, herbivores and carnivores. And if you do like to see more, or you would like to suggest any of your favorite dinosaurs or hybrids here on this channel, please comment them down below in the description box. Also, or comment them down below in the comment section. Also, EB here would like to remind you guys that all that you see here are actually available in the Extinct Bricks playlist. But I will be also placing in individual links of all the creatures that you see here, so that you won't have to scroll over hundreds of customs that we've made so far here in the channel. But you can also do that if you want to. Now let's begin with our Extinct Bricks Specie Roll Call, starting off with this big guy here, EB Toy Universe Mosasaurus. Extinct Bricks Jurassic Park 3 Ankylosaurus. Extinct Bricks Jurassic World Alive Diplodocus. Extinct Bricks Pyroraptor from Jurassic World Alive. Extinct Bricks Blue Repaint. Extinct Bricks or EB Toy Universe Pyroraptor Level 40 from Jurassic World again. Extinct Atrociraptor. Extinct Apatosaurus. Extinct Tyrannosaurus Rex Rexy. Extinct Parasaurolophus. Extinct Therizinosaurus. And of course, the star of the show here, Extinct Ankylodocus. And that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll be placing in additional clips, also video clips of our Ankylodocus. So I'll see you on the end of the video, guys. Thanks!
Uh-oh, Evie, careful, you might fall. Well, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and thank you so much for all your comments, your suggestions, as well as your likes and your views. Please also support our other channels, Toy Universe and Adventures of Moira and Usher. Watch their videos and support their channel by subscribing. And as we always would say, let your inner dino brain roar! Thanks everyone, and bye!